All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're decoding the alphabet soup of performance metrics today. Look, if you're a CEO, a director, or an HR leader, you've definitely felt the pain of metric overload. You've got dashboards packed with data, yet somehow your teams still aren't fully aligned, and that true breakthrough performance just feels completely out of reach. Well, today we're fixing that. We're going to clearly separate and define what true KPIs are, what OKRs are, and exactly how you can integrate them to build a world-class performance engine. Here's our roadmap to get us from metric confusion to high performance. We're peeling the performance onion, looking at KPIs as a health dashboard, OKRs as a strategic compass, comparing the two, checking out a masterclass from British Airways, and finally integrating your tools. Let's get to it. Section 1. Peeling the performance onion. Let's pull back the layers on what everyone mistakenly lumps together as just KPIs. Honestly, if you think you have 30 or 40 KPIs, you don't actually have KPIs. You have a severe lack of focus. Think of the outer skin of this performance onion as your KRIs, key result indicators, and KRAs, key result areas. We're talking net profit before tax or a broad customer satisfaction score. These are fantastic for the board of directors. They give a clear picture of whether you're generally heading in the right direction over a month or a quarter. But because they're a mashup of a ton of different actions, they don't actually tell your team what needs fixing today. As we peel a bit deeper, we hit the middle layers. These are your RIs and PIs, result indicators and performance indicators. A typical organization might have maybe 80 of these? They do the heavy lifting of aligning daily department activities with a big picture strategy. Think sales made yesterday or employee suggestions implemented. Super important, sure, and they do tell staff what to do, but they aren't the ultimate key to the whole business. And finally, right at the core, we find the true KPIs. These are incredibly rare. Honestly, you should probably have fewer than 10 of them across the whole company. These are the current or future-looking metrics that demand the CEO's constant, undivided attention. They literally tell your staff exactly what immediate action needs to happen to dramatically increase performance. And they need to be monitored 24/7 or at the very least daily. Moving to Section 2, KPIs, the health dashboard. Let's see how these metrics actually function together as the vital health dashboard for your business. Take a look at this 9-graph governance report. It perfectly captures the distinction we're talking about. This is a classic KRI dashboard. It keeps the board focused on the horizon, watching for icebergs in the distance, basically, without getting in the captain's way on the bridge. It tracks steady trends like staff satisfaction over months or quarters. It's strictly an outcome dashboard, not a daily action plan. Now, to avoid some truly dysfunctional behavior, like train drivers skipping stations just to stay on schedule, true KPIs absolutely must have these 7 characteristics. The biggest one? They are non-financial. No dollars, no euros. And they're measured constantly, ideally around the clock, clearly dictating what immediate corrective action needs to be taken by a specific individual or team. Section 3, OKRs, your strategic compass. If KPIs are your engine's health dashboard, OKRs are the GPS guiding you to a bold, completely new destination. Let's shift gears. I absolutely love this quote from Google co-founder Larry Page. He calls out OKRs as this transformative tool for making bold, aspirational ideas actually happen. While KPIs keep the lights on today, OKRs, objectives, and key results are the milestones you hit to reinvent the business for tomorrow. The objective is the what. It's inspiring and concrete. The key results are the how. They have to be measurable and verifiable. You either hit the number or you didn't. And when you do, that's when you see that crazy exponential 10x growth. Developed at Intel and really championed by John Doerr, OKRs bring 4 distinct superpowers to the table. They force leaders to make hard choices and focus. They align teams through total transparency. Everyone can see everyone else's goals. They let you track progress so you can easily course correct on the fly. And my favorite, they encourage you to stretch for amazing, pushing for exponential leaps rather than just tiny incremental changes. Section 4. Comparing OKRs and KPIs. Let's put them head-to-head and see how they build one incredibly powerful performance system. Think of it like flying a commercial jet. KPIs are your real-time dashboard. They keep the plane in the air by tracking the vital signs: fuel, engine temp, altitude, 24/7. If a KPI flashes red, you drop everything and fix it. OKRs, though, are your compass and navigation system. They tell the pilot exactly where to navigate next, charting the course to stretch for brand new horizons over the coming quarter. You literally cannot run a successful organization without both. Section 5, the British Airways Masterclass. To really see how a single, well-placed KPI can completely revolutionize a company and set the stage for massive strategic goals, let's look at a classic 1980s turnaround. Back then, British Airways was really struggling. A senior official brought in consultants, and instead of throwing 50 disconnected metrics at the wall, they zeroed in on just one critical success factor: the timely arrival and departure of airplanes. Sounds totally obvious, right? But BA isolated this because late planes literally impacted every single part of their business, from angry customers and spiked fuel costs to tanking employee morale. To actually fix this, they built a 24/7 intranet report just like this one. But here's the absolute genius part. They didn't track planes that were on time. They exclusively tracked planes that were late beyond a specific threshold. And they gave read-only access to the screen to their key suppliers. So cleaners and refuelers knew that if a plane was an hour late, they had pre-approved authority to drop everything, double up their crews, and work absolute magic to claw back those lost minutes. The real magic here? It was monitored 24/7. This wasn't some stale monthly recap. The local airport managers knew for a fact that a delay meant a personal, highly uncomfortable, and totally career-limiting phone call from a senior official, no matter where he was in the world. That is a true KPI. It demands immediate action, it empowers the front line, and it completely shifts behavior. Section 6. Integrating your performance tools. So, how do we actually merge this daily dashboard of KPIs with your strategic compass of OKRs? Using the smooth modification work plan from our source material, you can finally ditch the metrics overload. First up, you absolutely need rock-solid commitment from the senior management team, no exceptions. Next, nail down those few organization-wide critical success factors, just like BA's timely planes. Then, build your quarterly OKRs to really push the boundaries on those factors. And finally, back it all up with continuous performance management. We're talking regular conversations, feedback, and recognition, not just waiting around for an annual review. Now, here is an absolute deal breaker. If you want this integration to actually work, you must divorce compensation from your OKRs. Seriously, if a team's year-end bonus is tied directly to hitting their OKRs, they are going to stop taking risks immediately. They'll sandbag, they'll set incredibly safe, boring goals instead of those aspirational 10x stretch targets. OKRs are a tool for tracking progress and pushing limits, not a weapon for deciding paychecks. I'll leave you with this to chew on as we wrap up this explainer. Are you drowning your teams in retrospective, monthly KRI data, just passively measuring what already happened in the past? Or are you actively using real-time KPIs and bold, future-facing OKRs to finally measure what actually matters? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. And hey, I challenge you to take a hard, honest look at your own dashboard today.